Well, hey there, guys. Well, this is it. E3's upon us. Tomorrow is E3, and we'll finally get to hear about Zelda Wii. I just want to, before E3 comes and we get, confirmation on most of this stuff, I would like to go over my predictions. Now, this is not what I want to see. This is not what other people are talking about. This is not confirmed facts. This is what the stuff I am dead certain on. I would bet money that the stuff would actually happen in the game. Except, I don't actually bet. I don't bet. But this is the stuff I really think we're going to see. And I'm willing to put my reputation on the line. Now, just a little history with Spirit Tracks. I had a lot of theories, but there were two I considered very seriously, like this. They were both correct. Maybe they were a little obvious. The first one was that the game was going to be very much like Phantom Hourglass, but an improvement. Now, there's a little opinion there, but I think overall the consensus is that it was an improvement. The other is that the game would take place after Phantom Hourglass and Wind Waker and on a new continent. And this is actually something I've been talking about for a while, that there could be a new continent after Wind Waker, and that other games could take place after it on the timeline on a reformed continent. And I was right. That is basically the story. So, this is my thing for Zelda Wii. This is the same thing. I'm going to make these predictions. I got about 6 things here or so. And the first is like the crossbow and the longbow. Some people say that the game is going to the crossbow will appear from Link's crossbow training, and it will replace the longbow. I am certain it will have both. It's not going to replace. I don't think it's going to be completely replace the longbow. The longbow might not be usable, but I'm pretty sure it will. My official prediction is that they will both appear. They might not be usable at all times. They might not be usable at all. Maybe the crossbow is going to be used by an enemy, but both will appear. The second point is the voice acting. Despite previous statements and concerns, I believe Zelda Wii is going to have voice acting. And I think it will likely go along with text. As I mentioned in my last video, it won't change the functions. They'll just be like, a text box, and then the voice acting will probably play alongside it, and except maybe during certain cinematics. There may or may not be an option for turning it off, but I do believe we will have the voice acting. The second is a little more ambiguous. It's about the inventory. I believe that one or more of the 3 following things will occur. There will be more weapons besides the swords that you can use, possibly playing off the Wind Waker thing where you could actually pick up fallen enemies' weapons. The second will be an expansion on spoils and trinkets, like the treasures in the DS games, or the spoils from the enemies in Wind Waker, and just like odd little items like that. And the third is like armor and boots and the equipment system from Ocarina of Time, basically. I believe at least one of these 3 things is going to occur. I think we're going to see some kind of expansion off the equipment and the weapons or the the items you carry. I'm not sure which they're going to do, or if they're going to do all 3, or how far they're going to go, especially with suggestion that they're going to simplify the gameplay and have less items. Those are rumors, but they seem a little solid. So I'm not sure how far they're going to go with this, but I believe we're going to see it to some degree. Now we're going to venture into very typical Axel territory here. I believe the game is going to have a lighter storyline. This is not wishful thinking for me. I'm thinking about this logically, and I just got a feeling. I think that the game will not have as dark a storyline as Twilight Princess, because Zelda is light normally. It's a very lighthearted story, and I do not believe they're going to make another dark game again this soon. I'm dead certain that we're going to have a lighter storyline. Later than Twilight Princess, at least. Maybe it will be darker in comparison to previous games, but I don't think it's going to be a dark experience overall. The next is also very typical of me. It is a change in style or tone. I think either or both the art style and the atmosphere or tone will change. Not necessarily lighten, but change. The last thing I was mainly talking about the storyline. Some possibilities is we'll get a brighter atmosphere, or a darker atmosphere, but I'd find that unlikely since that would clash with my last statement. A different art style entirely. perhaps a brighter take on the Twilight Princess style with more color and less of a dull, drab feel. Maybe even a more stylish version of Twilight Princess with cell shading even. You can, I've seen it, do cell shading in a realistic style game. I've actually seen it before with games like Red Steel 2 and games like 13 or Killer 7. I've seen it before. It is doable. And perhaps the music and design is something they could also change. They could use the exact same graphics as Twilight Princess, but they could change the music and the designs of the characters so much it just doesn't even feel the same. These are possibilities, but I think one way or another, the feel of the game or the direct visual style is going to change. It's not going to be the same as Twilight Princess, despite that artwork. And the last thing on my list is that it will not be a sequel. It will not follow up any other games in the series, but particularly what I'm predicting is it will not follow up on Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, or Twilight Princess. These are three commonly thought of games that it's going to connect to, and I'm dead certain it's not going to have a dang thing to do with any of those three games, at least not directly. Maybe in the bigger picture of the timeline sort of thing, it might, maybe, mention something from Ocarina of Time or Twilight Princess, or have some familiar areas or items or whatever, but it will not be a sequel. It will not continue the plot. It could maybe do this for other games in the series, but I really don't think it's going to do it for those either. So that's my prediction. Not going to be a sequel to a game we've seen in the series yet. It's a sequel to Zelda, obviously, but not to an existing Zelda game. Alright, those are my predictions, guys. I'm excited about E3 quite a bit. I hope you guys are too. And I'm excited to see also if I'm going to be right on this stuff. I'll see you guys at E3. Be sure to check out all the Zelda Dungeon news and stuff. And later, guys.